The homeowner, her parents passed away.
I think the mold killed my parents. I think the mold killed my parents. I think the mold killed my parents.
I'm Daniel O'Connor of Hydroarmor Systems. We do basement waterproofing, which is interior, foundation waterproofing, which is exterior, structural repair on foundations, foundation wall replacements. Now what we're doing on this job, we're going to be doing a crawlspace waterproofing job combined with a crawlspace encapsulation job. You only have 20 inches, roughly 20 inches of clearance. If ever you get an estimate for a crawlspace waterproofing job, be sure the estimator looks up. 20 floor beams are completely rotted out. So, now you have rotted out floor beams, you got insulation covered with mold, floor beams covered with mold, subfloors covered with mold, and you have this much clearance. Some people might say that you can do the floor beams from underneath. Not properly. Rip the carpet out, cut the subfloor out, and do the job from the top. Now this house is for sale, and the reason it's for sale,
I think the mold killed my parents. Killed my parents. Killed my parents.
the threat when you have mold is real. We're gonna get the job done, and nobody else dies. I'm getting mold already. Rotted floor beams. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't get the water out of your basement. Only a matter of time before it falls in. And here's the sill plate. We've just got floor beams up in the front. We've got these that we've got to replace. Then we're going to insulate, plywood, get the hell out of space encapsulation, and crawl space waterproofing. Because there's a fucking keyword. Crawl space waterproofing. We got a rot there. That's a rotted floor beam. So, whenever you get an estimate, make sure they crawl under there and find out if the floor beams are rotted. Which if you've had a wet basement for a long period of time, they probably are. Alright, let's go over this other side. These are not as bad as I thought they would be. Actually, can you imagine trying to get these things in while crawling around under there? This is crawlspace waterproofing. This is our fiber reinforced poly, and we have a system all the way around, and we have two sump pumps in here. This is thermal armor, and this is rated at R15 insulation factor, and that'll keep all of the walls, that'll keep all the condensation from getting inside here. This is completely sealed and taped. No moisture is going to come up from the bottom. Mold is all gone because I can be here and actually breathe. It's goddamn light, all right? Getting too fucking old for this shit. I'm still crawling around in basements and crawl spaces and running jackhammers and operating heavy equipment. Crawl space waterproofing with crawl space encapsulation, and it's fucking like sucks. Yeah, modern technology. Give me a fucking candle. Fuck's sake. It's time to crawl out of here. All right. That's why they call it a crawl space. So as you can see, we're all finished up. This is all put back together. The floor beams have been replaced. This is all put back together. Now the cost of this job, $25,000. Maybe 15 years ago, the job could have been done somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000. The cost of not getting it fixed 10 or 15 years ago was their lives.
Killed my parents. 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 Killed my parents, 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 killed